Hello students, we are going to study the chapter cell, structure and functions. Okay, so cell is the characteristic feature of a living organism. We don't find cell in case of the non-living organism. Okay, so regarding the discovery of the cell, okay, Robert Hooke in 1665 he discovered this cell. Okay, how did he see that? How did he come to know about this cell? Okay, he observed, okay, in the cork cells of the bark of the tree, okay, a box-like structures in it. Mainly it looked like a honeycomb, okay, like design, okay, and he termed that as a cell. Okay, so what is a cell? In this you'll be seeing that a cell is in the living organism is the basic structural and functional unit. So cell is the basic structural and functional unit of a living cell. So when we are saying structural, okay, actually why we are saying this cell is the structural unit of life? Why? Because this is the ultimate, okay, for the living organism, ultimate structure of a living organism, okay, and that is the cell. And this structure, beyond this structure, okay, the living organisms are not there. This is, I will say, the basic structure, okay, which is found in the living organisms. So it is the structural unit. Okay, why do we are saying functional unit? Because the structures present in the cell, okay, they are responsible for different functions like growing, metabolism, other functions of the life like reproduction. All these are carried, okay, with the help of this cell. So this is the functional unit of life, structural and functional. Ultimate structure of the living organism, cell, okay, and functional, all the life processes to continue to take place is covered up with the help of cells. Okay, so when we talk about this cell, okay, this egg of the hen, okay, this is a single cell. Okay, number of cells are there, like if we talk about the ostrich egg also, it is also a single cell. So single cell or multicellular or unicellular, we can say, when we categorize it with the organism. Yes, if one only cell found, it is unicellular. If more cells are found, it is multicellular. Now let us see how to observe and study a cell. Okay, we know that cell is very, very small in size. Okay, it can be observed only through a microscope. So what is the function of the microscope? It magnifies the object. Okay, and if the object is magnified, you can see it easily. So we have to use a microscope. Without microscope, you can't observe. You see right now, can you observe any of the cells present in you? No, you can't. But yes, with the help of microscope, it can be observed. Okay, now cell, when we are talking about, it is colorless. Okay, so in order to see the different parts or the different organelles present in this cell, okay, we need to stain it. So what is this staining? We are applying color to it so that we can observe the different parts of the cell. Okay, now talking about these organisms, do all the organisms consist of same cells or same type? No, there are differences. So organisms shows variety in number of things like number of cells present, the size of the cell, the shape of the cell. So coming to the number of cells, okay, these organisms, how can they differ? They can be unicellular or they can be multicellular. Okay, so when we talk about unicellular, okay, what do we mean by that? Unicellular, uni means only one. So one cell is only present in that organism and that cell is capable of doing all the work. Okay, so only single cell forms that organism and that is known as unicellular. Okay, so single cell which is present in that organism is basically responsible for all the functions. Like when we talk about unicellular, we can take the example of amoeba. Okay, so this amoeba beta, okay, this is single cell, okay, unicellular in nature, but it can perform all the functions of the body. Like what? Like it can metabolize, it can grow, it helps in excretion, it helps in digestion, it helps in all the physical processes, respiration, reproduction, okay, all the functions can be performed by this single amoeba, okay. So amoeba, when we talk about, consists of only one cell, okay, which is capable of performing all the functions which are needed for the life to continue, like digestion, respiration, excretion, circulation, okay, reproduction, everything, all the functions can be performed by this single cell, okay. Now coming to the multicellular, okay, multicellular, multi means there are many, okay, so multicellular means number of cells are present in the organism. It will be not one in number, more than one in number. If the cells are present, those organisms are known as multicellular organisms. Okay, so here more number of cells are present. So if we are saying more number of cells, it means it is not that the cells will be of different type. Okay, here the single cell, if we are talking divides, goes on dividing, forming number of cells, thereby forming the organisms. So how is the functions provided over here? How do they perform the basic functions of the life? Actually these cells, okay, the similar types of cells, okay, they when they perform a single function grouped in one, that is known as what? Tissue. Okay, when this tissue performing, number of tissues performing a similar function, they form organ. And when number of organs, then they form together what? A system. Okay, this is how this in the multicellular organisms the basic functions of the life is carried out. So the next, in which organism shows what the varieties and the differences, is the shape of the cell. Okay, when we are talking about the shape of the cell, it can be spherical, it can be longitudinal, it can be single shape, it can be rectangular, it can be pyramidal, any shape, okay, but it depends upon the function of that cell. Like if we are talking about the neuron, okay, you can see that yes, it is by the lengthwise, you can see that yes, it is showing, it is not circular, okay, or it is not pyramidal, or it is not rectangular, it is longitudinal. Why it is? Because it has to carry over the impulses throughout the body. Okay, like this spherical, this RBCs, red blood corpuscles, they are spherical in shape. Actually they are carrying what? Oxygen to the body. Okay, this is a muscle fiber, okay, you can see that yes, it is spindle shaped. Okay, so this, according to the function, okay, the shape is decided of the cell. Okay, so now when we talk about the next variety or the differences with the organism shows is the size of the cell. Okay, so when we talk about the size of the cell, okay, there are differences in the size of the cells. Okay, so when we talk about the two peak points, the smallest and the largest cell, the smallest cell is found in the bacteria, in which you can see that the measurement is 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer, and the largest cell you can say about the ostrich egg, okay, and it is of that only the largest cell. And when we see about its size, it is 170 millimeter into 130 millimeter. Okay, so when we are talking about the size of the cell, what do you think that if there is an elephant, okay, suppose, okay, and a dog, take an example, dog is not as big as the elephant, so can we say that yes, the size of the cell of the elephant will be more and the size of the cell of the dog will be less? No, we can't say. The size of the organism does not decide the size of the cell. Okay, so now before going to the parts of the cell, okay beta, we must see about this amoeba we have discussed, isn't it? It is unicellular, but when we talk about the shape of the cell of this amoeba, okay, it doesn't have any shape. Why it doesn't have any shape? Because it produces what? Pseudopodia. ठीक है, कभी इसका ऐसा शेप हो जाएगा, it can be like this also, okay, it depends, okay, upon what shape it is producing, because it produces false feed, that is the pseudopodia, and this pseudopodia it uses it to capture the food and for movement. Okay, so shape of the cell of this amoeba is irregular in nature. Okay, now talking about cell, okay, when we talk about the cell of this eggshell of this hen, okay, so we are saying it is unicellular. You can see it properly. Have you seen the egg of a hen? Okay, boil it just, it will be more easy. Okay, you will be seeing a white portion and a yellow portion. Basically this is only forming that egg of that hen, okay, and that is a single shell. Okay, so that white portion is totally protein present, and the yellow portion which is present is the yolk, okay, and is responsible for even giving life of that hen. Okay, now how can you observe other cells? We have seen like right now this eggshell of a hen. Okay, other cells like if you want to see the cells present in the onions, okay, what you can do? Okay, you have seen onions. Okay, peel it off first and remove the skin, and then you'll be seeing that yes, white portion and pink portion. ऐसे ही देखते हो ना बेटा कि it consists of a white portion and pink portion. On the outer side it is pink, okay, inner side white. Okay, so now what you are going to do is just take out that pink portion, okay, and even this white portion you will be cutting it into small pieces, and then keep it in water and then adding methylene blue to it, and then seeing it under microscope. You will be seeing number of cells in it. Okay, likewise you can even do with the cheek cells. Okay, cheek cells कुछ नहीं करना है, take a toothpick, okay, or a matchstick. If you don't have toothpick, no problem, just scrape it from inside and just keep it in water, and then add iodine to it, and adding iodine to it, and then adding methylene blue and seeing it under the microscope. Like that you can do of anything. Okay, just scraping it, adding the stain, okay, and seeing it in the microscope. How will you prepare the slide? Just mount the thing to be seen on the glass slide, okay, and you will be adding the stain. Like in this you are adding methylene blue, okay, in the onions bulbs you are seeing you are adding methylene blue, even you are adding in the cheek cells methylene blue. Okay, so just a drop of it and cover the specimen so that no bubbles are there inside the this glass slip and the cover slip. Okay, and so that you can see the specimen properly. Okay, so this is how you can observe the cells. Now coming to the parts of the cell. Okay, so when we are talking about this cell, it is present in the living organisms, isn't it? So plants are also living organisms, animals are also living organisms, isn't it? So living organism basically consists of plants and animals, as well as the microorganisms also. Okay, so when we are talking about the animal cell, a plant cell, is it similar? No. A basic difference is there of the presence of a cell wall in case of a plant cell. So I had made the figure in a different manner, the animal cell and the plant cell. It is different. You can see the vacuoles also difference. Here it is big, here it is small. Okay, but before this I'll be saying to you about eukaryotic and prokaryotic. Okay, now basically we are going to see about the eukaryotic cell. Okay, that is the animal cell and the plant cell. Okay, you can see that yes, there is a difference. Let us see in detail the structure of these cells. Okay, so animal cell, when you are seeing, it is spherical in shape basically. Okay, now here it is covered with a cell membrane or a plasma membrane. All the organelles inside the cell is present, okay, which is covered by cell membrane or plasma membrane. Okay, now this, when we are talking about this cell membrane and plasma membrane, so what is its function? Okay, it lays down the boundary of the cell. First is this cell membrane, and it has got pores in it. Okay, so that the materials inside the cell and outside the cell, okay, here there can be exchange. Okay, now in this you see at the center what is present, nucleus is present. So basically this cell is divided into these two main parts, that is here the cytoplasm and inside the nucleus the nucleoplasm. Okay, so here in the cytoplasm area what is present? Let us see one by one the structures which we can see here. Mitochondria. Okay, mitochondria, what is the function of this mitochondria? Okay, it is known as powerhouse of the cell. Why it is known as powerhouse of the cell? Because it produces energy, okay, by which we are doing all the work, okay, and yes, totally helps in the respiration and this oxidation of food. So here mitochondria produces energy, so it is known as the powerhouse of the cell. Okay, coming to the next structure, you can see this long structure, okay, it is known as endoplasmic reticulum. It is also known as cytoskeleton of the cell, and you can see that yes, here also it facilitates the transportation from inside and outside the cell. It also helps in the protein synthesis and it also helps in lipid synthesis. Okay, now coming to Golgi bodies. Okay, so here these Golgi bodies, they are bigger in size in case of the animal cells, helps in the packaging of the materials. Okay, small dot-like structures you are seeing, these are what? Ribosomes. Basically what is their function? It helps in the protein synthesis. Okay, so now coming to the nucleus. Okay, in the nucleus we see that it consists of a small spherical structure like structure inside the nucleus, and that is known as nucleolus. Okay, and here in the nucleus only chromosomes are present. Okay, see this chromosomes, it is a very important thing because the whole word of this heredity, okay, it comes from this only, the chromosomes. It consists of the genes. Okay, so like if you see that yes, children, they resemble their parents. Okay, why does this happen? That yes, there is resemblance with the parents and the children. Okay, because some heredity, some material is passed from the parents to the children. Okay, and that is done with the help of what? The chromosomes. Okay, which consists of the genes. Okay, and these genes consists of those characters which are passed from the parents to the children or the offsprings. So the whole hereditary material, it is confined in the nucleus of the cell. And yes, one more function of this nucleus is that it totally, all the organelles, okay, it just supervise. Okay, so all the organelles functions are controlled by the nucleus. Okay, now vacuoles are also present. Okay, small vacuoles we can see in case of the animal cells. Okay, and here vacuoles, basically storage purpose is there. Okay, its function is to store the things. Okay, but when we talk about the plant cell, we see the vacuole is bigger in size, because here the storage purpose is more in case of this plants. Number of things are stored, okay, like water, sap, okay, liquid portions, all are stored in the vacuoles only. Okay, so here the function of the vacuole is elaborated than the animal cells in case of the plant cell. Okay, now basic difference I said to you that yes, in the animal cell we have seen a plasma membrane, single membrane, okay, but here in the plant cell we see, what do we see? It consists of a double layer. So the outermost layer, that is the cell wall, is present in case of the plant cell. Okay, and then yes, the cell membrane is also present. Okay, and that cell membrane also confines the boundary of the cell. Okay, so both the cell wall and the cell membrane will be saying that yes, it confines the boundary of the cell of the plant cell. Okay, and here also pores are present so that the functioning of the substances coming in and out can be done. Okay, now in this you see the dictyosomes. These dictyosomes are nothing but the Golgi bodies which you have seen in the animal cells, which are larger in size. Here it is smaller in size. Okay, now ribosomes again found in the plant cell, helps in the protein synthesis. Mitochondria again powerhouse of the cell because it produces the energy, and number of other things which we are finding here in case of plant cell, like inclusion bodies, also small structures are found in case of this plant cells. Okay, now here this plant cell consists of plastid. Okay, so when we talk about the plastids, okay, the green one is known as the chloroplast. Okay, and chloroplast, from here only the word comes chlorophyll, which helps in the photosynthesis. It means preparing of food. Okay, so beside this chloroplast, okay, leucoplast and chromoplast is also present. Okay, leucoplast is colorless in nature. Okay, chromoplast, okay, this is colored. So different colors which you are seeing comes from the chromoplast. Okay, so these are the basic structures which are present in the plant cell and the animal cell. In bacteria and all, I said that yes, the cell, all the substances, all the organelles are not well organized. Like nucleus, only if you see a bacterial cell, okay, in this you will be seeing that yes, the nucleus is not well organized inside the nuclear membrane. Genetic material is just found in this manner. Okay, so here, and these type are known as what? Prokaryotic. Okay, organisms, and these are known as what? Eukaryotic organisms. So eukaryotic organisms consists of these types of cell. Prokaryotic consists of the cells in which we see the genetic material is present as it is, not confined inside the nuclear membrane. Okay, and example you can say of prokaryotes: bacteria, okay, blue-green algae, okay, and eukaryotic, all the living organism, all the plants and animals, anyone we can say the eukaryotic organisms. Okay, so this is all about the cell structure and functions. Hope you all have might understood it. Good day, take care.